Friday Night Live Improv from New York City. And what we're doing now, where did Dawn go? Dawn, are you there? Dawn, can you hear us? Wait.
Yep, I'm here, yes.
Oh!
Nice entrance.
The second safety P.
And we got a great cast for you tonight. We have Stephanie Falciano. Say hello, Stephanie. We got classy. We got Don Slovin right there. Finally, we got Don making a nice classy farting noise. Mark Hudson's over there in the corner. Good old friend of mine, Mark Hudson. Barry Weisband is joining us all the way from across the country. I think you're in Arizona again. You can take the girl out of New Jersey, but you can't take the New Jersey out of Sandi Gansel. There she is. And last but not least, another Jersey girl, Margaret Fogel, just back from some wine bar somewhere in Maplewood, New Jersey. So let's play. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to meet. Speaking of Maplewood, New Jersey, it's a small town in New Jersey. Well, not as small as Goon River. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to meet the inhabitants of the small town of Goon River. And in Goon River, they had a big event in the life of a small town one time. Oh, I can't remember what that event was. What's a big event in the life of a small town like Goon River? I can't remember what it was. What was it again?
The holiday festival.
The holiday festival. What were you going to say, Barry?
Well, I remember that very first mailbox being put in.
I like that.
What this was is the holiday of Letter Day. It was a big festival that they had to celebrate the United States Postal Service. It was a big Postal Service event. And only Goon River had it. And this was the year they first decided to do it. And I remember, a lot of the people of Goon River, and now's a good time, by the way, to change your names so that we know the names of the people from Goon River. But a lot of the people from Goon River, you could say one thing about them, you could say another, but they're never on the fence. And that very first year that they decided to do a Postal Service holiday festival, there were people for it, there were people against it, and there was a real kerfuffle in the town of Goon River. So let's meet some of the people from Goon River and talk about what happened. Let's start with Blair Lithith Luna. Blair Lithith Luna. Am I saying that right?
It's close enough. It's close enough. I own the local tattoo shop called Saints and Sinners. Yeah. And we do piercings, tattoos, all sorts of piercings, anywhere you want it. We got it for you.
At Saints and Sinners.
At least 3 tattoos and 6 piercings nowadays. That's like the cool number.
Oh. And now tell me, were you for or against the big festival?
Well, I am always for a party. I'm always for a party. I love when people come and party because they get, little whacked out and they come and get some tattoos. And that's like a cool thing to do. And my door's open. We stay open till 1 in the morning.
Oh, right on. Okay, we'll see you later on this evening then. I think or maybe we won't, depending upon the event.
Well, no. Some people, everybody has a little fantasy. Everybody's got a little fantasy. So.
All right, cool. Let's check in on Old Pa Guna. Old Pa Guna, tell us what you did in Goon River and whether you were for it or against it.
Well, I am a longtime member of said town, and I am... Yeah, I don't know. I'm quite undecided about the whole idea of having a letterbox, but if it means that we can have a festival, then that's good because I ride hogs and I love to get all my motorcycle buddies to come on into town and make a big ruckus as we're going down through the main street. So I guess I'm for it.
You biker guys are big on the tattoos and the whatnot. Have you ever been to Saints and Sinners tattoo? And
I must have 20. How many tattoos do I have now? I must have at least 12. Let me just count. Is it one?
while you're
I might want to go to somebody else. It could take a while. One, two, three.
I'm going to talk to Dolores Valley. Dolores Valley, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
9, 10.
I own the Italian restaurant in town. And I want you to know this mailbox is going to be right out of sight of my door. And we're going to advertise. People are going to come from all over to get my Parmesan and my cannolis.
Your Parmesan and your cannolis. Hey, let's take a second and get a little bit of publicity for your restaurant. What's your restaurant called?
Valley Here Now.
Valley Here Now Italian restaurant.
Yeah. As opposed to from the old country.
Oh.
It's here. It's now.
Valley is your last name. It's here.
Right.
It's now. It's not from the old country. Okay, cool. And did you tell us how you felt about the big festival? You're for it.
Gonna be great. It's gonna be right outside my door.
Oh yes, of course. You'll be able to cater it. Wonderful.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's check in with Barack DeJoy. Barack DeJoy. What a nice name. Now, what do you do here in the town?
Well, I'm the mayor of Goon River.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Mayor. We are thrilled to have you here.
Absolutely. And, we're trying to keep expenses down. And I've been given the responsibilities and the honor of being the first Postmaster General here in Goon River.
Mayor and Postmaster General of Goon River. That is fabulous. So I'm just assuming, if I may, that you must be in favor of the big festival of the post office.
Well, I would never slow up the festival.
Oh, no. But are you? So you think it's a good idea?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
How wonderful. Oh, we're just thrilled to have someone of your stature here. Thank you so much. Margarita Golding, tell us about yourself, what you did in Goon River.
Oh, I am the librarian of Goon River. And I think it's wonderful that we're going to have a post box because I can ship out books to my patrons who cannot come into the library and get books from other libraries. However, I am not sure about this festival. Not sure at all. I think we can have a post box without having the festival. However, I'm really big supporter of having the mailbox.
Oh, so for the mailbox, but not in favor of the festival.
Correct.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Well, being a librarian, I think you like things a little quieter.
I do.
All right. And last but not least, Mooney Toms. Mooney Toms, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man. So I'm like always playing outside of the sweet tattoo shop, Saints and Sinners.
Yeah.
And I'm like really into festivals and like a really good party, man. But like I don't live on the grid. I'm off the grid. I'm not down with computers, with technology, letters. Nothing. I don't need any of that. Okay.
Sure. The post office is actually considered an older technology. I'm just saying.
Whatever. You can have your views, man. You can have your views.
Oh, okay. All right. And okay. And a big festival for you get a gig playing. I'm just saying that.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, cool. Now I want to talk about the day before the big festival, because whether you were for it or against it, the town decided to do it. And so the big festival to celebrate the post office is the next day. Can you tell me what you did the day before the festival started, who you saw, and what you did? So let's start with you, Dolores.
Thank you. Well, I was getting ready, lining up the cannolis, lining up little takeout boxes with the Parmesan, the chicken parm, and a little bit of spaghetti. And Barack DeJoy, the mayor and the postmaster general, he came in, he wanted a little sample. I gave him a sample, and we were just chatting about the beauty of that mailbox right outside my door.
Nice.
Beautiful. And I was just so happy. There were young people coming in, and they were over at the Saints and Sinners. It was a wonderful, just getting ready. I had some nice red wine for the customers. It was going to be great. I just wasn't going to. Dolores Valley, here and now, never await, always got food. I'm ready.
That's our Dolores, right? That is our Dolores. Blair, we hear that the day before the festival, you had a lot of people at the tattoo and staple parlor. That's not staple.
Oh, yeah, I had every station booked. We got some cool cannolis and some food from Valley here now. They make the best food. Awesome wine, just terrific. But let me just tell you, Old Paguna, we've been doing this big tattoo. We're kind of bringing all the other tattoos together to make one giant. Yeah, it's so awesome. But I hate to tell you this, old pal. You didn't know it, but Margarita has more tats than you.
What? No, she's a quiet librarian. Let's go check.
Okay. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you, she's got piercings where the sun don't shine.
Let's go check with her. Margarita, nice to see you again. You know, I heard from Blair Luna that you've been to her shop. And as a matter of fact, the day before the big event, I think you were having something pierced.
Well, Blair Luna cannot keep her mouth shut. This was supposed to be confidential. Yes, I have the occasional tattoo, but it's secret. I'm the librarian. I have to be respectable. So yes, since it was very quiet the day before the festival, I peeked over at Blair Luna's parlor, tattoo parlor, just to see if it was quiet, if I could maybe get a tiny little tattoo, but it was mobbed. So I went back to the library, and I'm very disappointed that she's been telling everybody that I, the town librarian, the most intellectual person in Goon River, has been getting tattoos. So what?
Well, I guess nothing. You know, it was just a little shocking to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Hey, old Pa Guna. Let's talk about the day before the big festival. Where were you, and who did you see?
Many I got up to 20. I think I got 21 tattoos. You wanted to know before, and the one, of course, she's working on right now. Listen. One of the worst kept secrets in the world is about that old school marm at the library. She parties better than anybody else, but it's late at night, and it's only at the Italian restaurant in town when they close the doors at 1. And that's when the big parties start coming up, you know. And all my motorcycle buddies, they come from the nearby towns. They got to come hogging in. It takes at least about a half an hour. They're pretty close by, but not really that. And that's what we were getting ready to do, is getting ready to rally and right in the middle of the parade. That's what we were thinking of doing with our motorcycle gang and all that. That's what we were doing the day before.
Oh, that's you're up to mischief, which is what the motorcycle gangs are all about, I'm told.
That's right.
Hey, Mooney Toms, how are you, man?
I'm doing all right, man.
Tell me about the day before the big festival, what you did and who you saw.
So she doesn't like to talk about me, but I was hanging out with my girlfriend, Margarita, and she loves when I read her Shakespeare, right? So I was hanging out after, the tattoo parlor was crazy, man. It was like, I couldn't even, there was a line outside and like, I couldn't even play my tunes and everybody, like nobody was paying attention to me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with my really smart, really beautiful, really, really cool girlfriend that doesn't like to talk about me, but we hung out anyway.
Oh, wow. We're finding out more and more about Margarita. Wow, interesting. All right. Barack DeJoy, what did you do the day before the festival? Who'd you see?
Well, we were going to unveil the brand new stamp.
Ah.
And and we made it up into a big poster board. So I was carrying the brand new stamp that was covered, of course, because we didn't want anybody to see who the stamp was, reflective of. And then I figured, well, I ought to go down there to Dolores's place because I wanted to pick up a couple cannolis, if you know what I mean. And that's exactly what I did. I went down there and, I got some free samples from Dolores. Yeah. And, I laid the big poster board of the stamp down there and I guess I forgot it, but, because I was so excited about the cannoli.
So you left the stamp and you took the cannoli.
Exactly.
Okay. That's iconic, to say the least. All right. Now I want to talk about the day that everything happened. Now, I know that a big, unfortunate incident happened at the festival. That's what I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about what happened. Let's start with you, Mooney Toms. Tell me what happened.
Okay. I was just finishing a cannoli because, Dolores always has, free samples and she's really, really generous. And I was really, really hungry because I'm living out in the wilderness and so I was like, yeah, it's party time. It's time to party. And then I show up with my guitar, of course, and suddenly I see the mayor and like Barack doesn't like me. He's jailed me. Like he's thrown me in jail like 3 or 4 times. And like, he just got it out for me and he saw me and came up to me and punched me so hard that I died.
What?
Yeah, he literally knocked my block off.
Oh, that's really a shock. And I promise you, go and I will talk to Barack. But first, I want to talk about the love of your life. Margarita, what happened? You must have seen this happen.
Well, I just missed it.
Oh.
Nobody knows that actually Mooney, Toms, and I are together because we're so mismatched, but really he's the love of my life and he reads Shakespeare with me. So on the day of the festival, he disappeared and I was very distraught because I was expecting him. So I went to look for him and I found out that our mayor and postmaster, Barack DeJoy, had just punched my Mooney. And I think Mooney was dead. So I jumped on Barack and I tried to strangle him. But he got his arms around my neck.
Oh, dear.
And the next thing I know, He was strangling me. And the next thing I know, I was dead
Oh,
next to my Mooney.
well, there's at least that. Mr. Mayor, I think we need to chat. I've heard about some very non-mayorly conduct happening here. Well, what happened?
These stories are just way over the top. Way over the top. I mean, look, I got a secret to tell you all, and I guess it's time to give it up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Tom's is his middle name. Mooney Tom's DeJoy.
Oh, your own son or brother? What is?
Oh, Mooney was my baby. He was my baby, and you know the stamp that we were going to unveil. It was a Mooney. The new stamp was a Mooney Tom's DeJoy.
So why on earth would you punch his head off?
No, not at all. I was so pleased with him, and he said that I arrested him. I put him in jail. I just wanted him to come home.
Oh,
That's what I wanted him to do. You know, get out of the woods, come home. He thought I was arresting him, you know, and so I went up to him to show him to give him a preview to unveil, and he got so upset with me. He took it away from me, and I tried to grab it back because it was so precious to me, and it was an accident. I believe it was an accident where I just reached back and got him, and I just clipped him one accidentally, and then Marguerite came up and I wanted to hug her because I was so sad, and I guess the hug was just a bit too tight, and then out of nowhere I saw these cannolis coming flying at me, and I turned around, and out of nowhere, this cannoli just, and I couldn't talk. There was a cannoli stuck in my throat, and it asphyxiated me. Dead.
pretty good way to go. Death by custard.
Oh yeah, it was good. I love the cannoli.
Dolores, I thought you liked Barack DeJoy. I'm assuming if he was killed by cannoli, he was killed by you. What happened to you?
He wasn't killed by me. He was killed by the cannoli. However, I was walking around with the plate, giving out some samples to all the tourists that came to see our letter day, and a sample here and a sample there. And everybody started rushing me, and I was trying to balance the tray, and it started flying, and I couldn't keep the cannolis on, and one of them went out. And I'm like, oh my God. And as I was running over to him, I got tangled up in Mooney's body and Margarita's whatever, that I slipped and tumbled, and my head went through the glass of Blair's tattoo parlor and a shard right in the carotid artery. I spurted my body's blood all over the place.
What a kerfuffle we've had in this. All right, let's go over to you, Blair. Suddenly, Dolores's head comes through the window. What happened to you then?
It was a kerfuffle, you can say. But let me just tell you, Barack DeJoy,
Yes.
he had come in and he had gotten a moon tattoo at one point, and another point on his ankle, he got a set of tom-toms.
Oh.
So, like, I at the time I wasn't sure, but I had my suspicions.
His son, yeah.
And her tattoos and
Yeah.
Mooney Toms and Barack DeJoy, I'll tell you, it was some family tree.
It's a weird, terrible family. And there they were. They were all dead. and then Dolores comes through your shop window.
In the middle of me finalizing the mural on old Pa Goona's back, and we're tying everything together, the cross, the barbed wire, and all this, I don't know what kind of writing, but he just brought it in, you know, I do what I'm told. So we're molding it all together, and I have my needle, and I'm going, and she comes flying in, and my needle turns around and goes right into my heart.
Oh. Oh, dear.
It just got me in just the right place that it was over. That's it.
Death by in the heart.
I went up to the heavens.
Oh, so at least you went there. Well, I'll tell you, you died the way you lived, with ink in your heart.
That's right.
So old Pa Goona, you must have been there because obviously Blair was working on your back. What happened to you after she got it in the heart?
Well, hold on a sec. Hold on. Listen, you know, I am no friends with the mayor. The mayor says we have to wear helmets in his town. That's why, you know, we don't want to live free. Listen, the whole thing is a misunderstanding. And as usual, all the motorcyclists, we get blamed for everything. Here I am, innocently over there, and eat actually my lady Blair, who's working on my back, right? And suddenly I'm hearing rumbling, if you will, of Harley Davidsons, and I knew they were coming in because we were going to make a stand, if you will, at the parade. And I'm hearing a whole bunch of stuff, and then I hear absolutely nothing. And then someone comes flying through the window. I run outside. Now, listen, you don't want to get motorcyclists all riled up. You know, Rudy, he's something. Ralphie and Georgie can be a mother, if you know what I'm trying to say. So here's what it is, right? They see that there's a rumble going on outside, and they don't know who it is. You know, it could be a mayor, it could be just a bunch of other rival gang members. Who knows? Who knows what they were? Yeah, and they all went and they grabbed them. By the time I got out there, it was just a rumble. And everybody's rumbling, hitting each other and banging each other and all that. And, you know, I got the tattoo needle stuck in my back, you know, and that's not the problem. I go outside and I'm trying to make peace with it. And one of my boys, they see that I got a needle in my back and they think, oh, no, that must have been Blair who did that to try and kill me. The whole thing is such a mess. The cannolis are flying all over the place. I don't even know what happened with Margarita. I'd love to find out what happened with Margarita. But all this thing, you know what I'm saying? And that hippie guy, you know, he's a good guy because, you know, we always get our dope from him. So, you know, one guy's going after him because they want to try and stand up for him, not against him. And we're not against anybody. The whole thing is a big rumble. I'm trying to get there in the middle, right? Sure enough, you never see the peace sign came out of nowhere, hit me on the head and killed me.
But you were told to wear a helmet when you were in town.
We're not going to wear no damn helmets. Who do you think you're talking to?
You're right. Live free or live like Gary Busey. You're right. Forget those helmets. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your story about the day that everything happened in Goon River. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for being with us. Hey, there's going to be more improv coming up in just a few seconds. So you hang in there. We'll be right back.